Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I believe Australis Capital Bamm investment will 10 times will be a 10 bagger. I don't know how I'm going to title it, but hopefully my grammar is not too bad when I title it. So anyways, before I talk, I just kind of want to go over Astraeus. Astraeus might surprise people tomorrow. Astraeus might come up with amazing numbers. I don't know for sure, but they may come up with amazing numbers, and instead of falling, it could rally. Tomorrow is a big day. It either will fall or rally. If Astraeus comes out with some amazing numbers, the cannabis market will probably rally. If they come out with some bad numbers, it will fall. So I'm thinking that if they come out with amazing numbers, the stock could go up like $14-15, and if they come out with horrible numbers, I think the stock will go to around $12 Canadian, around it. And if Astraeus does fall down to $12 Canadian, that would affect, I think that would affect the major players like Cron, Aurora, and Cannabis. I think all those stocks will fall with Astraeus, if Astraeus comes out with some bad numbers. But this is just my opinion. So we'll see where things go tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a very interesting day. I think it's either Astraeus is gonna rally like 10%, or it's gonna fall like 10%. So I think Astraeus is gonna move no matter what. It's gonna move either to the up direction of 10% or to the down direction of 10%. But tomorrow is gonna be a big day for the cannabis market. It's not gonna be it's either gonna be a really ugly red day, or it's gonna be a nice, beautiful green day. So we'll see though. We'll see where things are heading for tomorrow. Australis Capital. So let's just talk about Australis Capital stock. Right now, it does look up, like it's kind of uptrending. If tomorrow is a nice green day, I think Australis will push to the upside. But if it's a horrible day, it could go down to 93 cents. Who knows? But if it does, I'll buy. So let's talk about, okay, nope, not this. Okay, no, okay, anyway, so let's talk about Australis Capital investment into Bamm. Okay, first of all, Australis did $6.4 million and a $1.6 million convertible debenture. The warrant is exercisable at 50 cents a share for a period of 2 years, and then the stock has to be trading above $1.20 for 30 consecutive days. The stock has been trading at $2 for like, I think, a good okay, so it's been trading above $1.22 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. But the fact that it's $2, I think no matter what, they're gonna be able to execute those warrants. They're gonna Australis Capital is gonna have to execute those warrants. But I'm thinking Bamm could go up higher. And then for the convertible debenture, it's converted at 55 cents per share, at $1.65 for 20 consecutive trading days. And then if everything gets exercised, Australis would get about 35.1 million shares, which represent 42% of the entire company, or 42% of all the shares that are outstanding. And then on top of that, on February 5th, 2019, they made another investment into Body Mine for another almost 2 million shares for $777,000. I don't understand why they did this, but I guess Bamm needed money for something. But now they own a total of almost 37 million shares once everything gets exercised and executed. So that would be still about 42, 43%, 44% maybe, like a 2% more. You know, and then Australis Capital acquired California cannabis brand Mr. Natural Products Incorporation. This is an interesting acquisition because it doesn't tell you that, like, I wonder, like, it doesn't tell you that they, like, basically they acquired the rights to the branding and the way they make the cannabis products. They don't have, like, Mr. Natural doesn't really have cultivation, but I'm thinking that, you know, they bought out Mr. Natural. They're gonna use Bamm's facilities to create Mr. Natural products to put into store shelves. And my assumption, this is my assumption, that, you know, Australis will get some kind of revenue from Mr. Natural products selling, you know, like payments, royalty payments based on future performance incentives. So I'm assuming, you know, if they do well in the future, they will get royalty payments or something. I have no idea, but that's my guess. I've been doing a lot of research into Mr. Natural, and it doesn't show that Mr. Natural has any production facilities. But so they acquired $1.3 million for, you know, the brand and the way they create the product, and I think they're gonna be using Bamm to create the product. So, you know, Bamm has a market cap of $152 million. I think Astraeus, you know, really helped Bamm grow as a company. And, you know, I'm thinking that in the future, there's a possibility, not saying it will happen, but there's a possibility, I think a high possibility, of Bamm becoming a $300 million company. At $300 million, that would put Bamm at $4 per share, and Astraeus would 10 times their money. That would be awesome. That would be awesome for Astraeus. You know, like, let's pull out a calculator. You know, like 37 million shares times 4. $148 million. They invested about $10 million into Bamm, and I think that's actually a little bit more than that. I think it's like $12 million into Bamm, and they got $148 million out of it. So if you divide $12 million, they 12 times their money. They 12 times their money, investors' money, in a short period of time. That's awesome. A 12 bagger or a 10 bagger at least. That, you know, that's amazing. I think that would be amazing if Bamm went to $4. I'm cheering for Bamm to go to $4, but I'm not gonna be gambling on Bamm. I'm just gonna let the rich people pump the stock. As you can see, you know, rich people are still pumping the stock even at $2.10. So obviously a normal retail investor is not going to be going, I'm going to be buying a ton of shares at $1.94. You know, like after it already ran so much. I mean, there might be some retail investors that see the stock rising and, you know, want to jump in and, you know, is attempting to ride along with the stock. Like, this is not financial advice. I don't know if it'll go to $4. I'm saying that there's a possibility that Bamm could go to $4. So that would 10 times Australis Capital money. So that, you know, that would, you know, that's huge in my opinion. So, and, you know, the fact that, you know, 37 million shares times 4, you know, $148 million. Australis Capital market cap is $139 million. You know, like, if Australis Capital is still at 98 cents and Bamm is at like $4, that would be kind of messed up. But hey, at the end of the day, shareholders will determine the price of the stock. So unless a lot of shareholders decide to suddenly invest into Australis Capital, it's not going to rise. But if, let's say, I don't know, 100 people or 1,000 people decided to invest, I don't know, like $10,000 into Australis Capital, I think Australis could skyrocket. But no, not a lot of people are going to think like that. And or a couple of rich people, or 3 or 4 rich people could really rise Bamm's, Australis Capital stock, in my opinion. And then Astraeus also, invested into a company called Folium Bioscience Global. I thought this was interesting. It's a private company in the United States. They own and operate the largest cannabis extract and purification facility in the United States. The fact that they have the largest, just the word the largest sounds kind of cool. And then they have plans to go into Canada. Bioscience could go on the NASDAQ. They could list on the NASDAQ because they're not a cannabis company. They are a CBD company. So in theory, they could go on to the NASDAQ, or they can eventually trade on the Canadian Security Exchange. And, this company could be a big hitter for Australis Capital in the future. But in the article, it does not state that this company is going to go list on the stock market. They might stay a private company, but if it does, that would be a big deal for Australis Capital. And then Australis Capital invested into Quality Green, going public transaction. They put a $2 million investment into Quality Green, before they went public. It's a Canadian company, but it could be a big winner for Australis. Who knows? Who knows at the end of the day? There's so many cannabis companies in Canada. They're all just, I'd rather see them invest into another US play, but I guess maybe Aurora was like, hey, you should invest into Quality Green. We think it's a good company. Because Aurora does help Australis Capital, and they do dictate what Australis do, because Australis kind of have to talk to Aurora every time they make an investment, or at least tell Aurora when they make an investment. I think so. I'm not 100% positive. I mean, they're not entitled to, but I think they do. And before I go, I'm just going to talk a little about Emblem. So I made a lot of money on Emblem. I bought Emblem around $4, like $3 or $4 or something like that, like in the low $4. I bought quite a bit of shares. I bought like 20,000 shares around $4, and it went all the way up to $7. I sold off. I made about $50,000. I made about $50,000 off of Emblem. I could have bought some back at $4.78, but when I look at this company and I compare it to, like, let's say other companies out there, I'm like, why do I need to invest into Emblem? There are better companies, cheaper companies out there, and like Emblem is valued at $400 million. Now, it's not too bad considering the fact that they have $150 million in asset, and they're making about, like $13 million, $14 million a quarter, but their gross profit is kind of bad. That's the one thing I don't like. They have a shareholder equity of $154 million. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's been growing. It's like 89 million, 154 million. So that is a very positive sign, but I don't know. It's just there are better companies out there. I think there's better companies out there than Emblem. And right now, Emblem, it basically looked like it bounced, and now it's pulling back. I don't know. Maybe this is a healthy pullback, but I don't know. Like I just my whole reasoning to buy Emblem was I heard that there was a possibility of a cannabis company acquiring out Emblem, but now that I'm more familiar with the market, I can see that there's other players like Alkaline Waters and Weekend Unlimited even has like a CBD / cannabis drink in their portfolio of stuff. And on top of that, there's also what's that? That other company, Dixie Brand. Dixie Brand's only $100 million. You know, Dixie Brand would make more sense to acquire than Emblem, in my opinion. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. My throat is hurting me, and I think I might become getting sick. I'm not sure. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.